What's going on, guys? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Y'all already know y'all linked in to another episode of House of Harlem Studio. Y'all already know what it is. I'm your guest, Kia L. And always to the right of me is Shaka L. Bay. And as you already know, Waji is always in the chat. And shout out to all my moderators that will be coming on pretty soon. Shout out to all the fans who are always coming through and definitely blessing us with conversation and information. So y'all know we got a lot to talk about, right? We got a lot to talk about. And I mean, there is a major topic of the week, if you don't know. And we're going to get into it. I hope all is well with you guys. Here in New York, it's been really hot. All right, hot. I believe yesterday may have been the hottest. I don't know what the humidity was, but I believe it was in the 90s. Right, we got it to like 97, 98 degrees. It was no joke. We got a little bit of rain, which is always expected when humidity is just like rampant. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mother Nature. It is what it is. I am not complaining, especially when I've been very consistent with my health regimen. And so I'm just feeling happy and vibrant and just optimistic about what's to come. Listen, y'all already know how I feel about things. Make sure we are stayed focused, all right? Stayed focused out there. What do I mean? Listen. Right now, things are uplifting, especially in New York. New York was like the center when it came to the Rona situation. We were like the center of attention from the whole world. We supposedly or allegedly had the most cases, the most deaths, or whatever. And so now, the city, according to the governor, the coon, he stated that we are 70% vaccinated, right? Allegedly. All right. This is for entertainment purposes only, as you guys already know. But and because of that, we are now uplifted. All restrictions are uplifted. I'm not going to even go into my sentiments about the bull. All right. Y'all already know what it is. The conscious ones, the wise ones, the ones who ask questions, the who, what, when, where, and how. All right. So before we get into things, I would like to say, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. All right. Because this is the upcoming #1 show on YouTube. So y'all want to make sure y'all subscribe, because we always give y'all that truth. And also make sure you share this link with family members, your friends, anyone in your contact, because at the end of the day, this platform, we do give information. We do have great conversations with people that give information, and you always want to stay locked in, for sure. So make sure. I know you love your peoples out there, so y'all should be sending them the link to this show. Make sure you tell them to subscribe. All right. And for those who are coming in or already in, make sure you hit that like button. We appreciate it. Sometimes we get the thumbs, but it's all good. At least you're still watching. That's what matters. You know, I like it. So I want to ask you guys, how are y'all doing out there? All right. I hope you're staying hydrated, because the heat is crazy. I did see a little short clip of someone stating that they have some sort of laser. I don't know if you heard about that, Shaka, where they are manipulating the weather, which is not far-fetched. We spoke about weather manipulation on the show. But there's this laser beam that allows the weather to be more hotter. They're making the weather hot, real hot and spicy. You know, so did you ever see that clip?
No.
Okay.
I didn't see that clip. I'm not aware of that.
Right. Oh, well, as you know, they do manipulate the weather, but we need the sun. We definitely need the sun. So stay hydrated, stay cool. Not cool meaning be under AC all day, but just, make sure you have some cool water on your skin. Make sure, for those who need sunscreen, put your little sunscreen on. Coconut oil is a, a sunscreen to some extent. It clogs the pores up or whatever as well if you want to go into the swimming pool and don't want all the chlorine going through your pores. So that's a really great thing. There's a herb that I want to mention later on, and we have a couple of interviews coming up. I'm really excited about them. I like all interviews, but I love my information interviews in particular. So I'm really excited about that. I am super excited. Thank you guys, all of my fans, for jumping on this platform and subscribing to this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys so much. And I've been working hard. The team has been working hard to bring some greatness coming up. You guys will see. Y'all know how we do. Surprises, surprises, and surprises, and more surprises. Y'all know that a case has been overturned in the appellate court. So you know we got to talk about that, right? And then another case of someone representing themselves, which I found hilarious in their closing statement that we're going to have to play. But I feel kind of bad because when I do read about the case, it's kind of like a bittersweet situation. The children were involved, deaths were involved allegedly, and it's really sad. But this case that I want to play for you guys is a closing statement, a closing argument of someone representing themselves, and it's just like, really, bro? Like, you know, it is what it is, right? And I want your guys' opinion about it. I also want to ask you guys a question about, you know, this word called narcissist. What is your definition of a narcissist? I know what Google, we can read what Google says, and I've read it before, but I'm interested in knowing. And the reason why I'm bringing up that word is because of this case. This case of a gentleman who's representing himself, who was allegedly accused of killing his girlfriend and his daughter and attempting to kill his son, who ultimately had to be a witness in the case, which I believe he's like between 11 or 12 years young. And because his father is representing himself, he was the one who had to cross-examine the witness, which is his son, and ask some questions. How tense could that get? It's a really sad situation, but hopefully we can laugh at least on how he presented his closing statement, how passionate he was about his closing statement. And I also made some observations about the judge on her approach and speaking to him after that and asking him to get some counsel because of the sentencing. But nevertheless, to say let's get it. Shout out to the chat. My engineer, I just want to let you guys know, he is the best engineer in the whole wide world, but he's always doing something. He is always doing something behind the scenes. And for that, I have to start putting up behind the scene videos, because y'all not going to believe this. Like, y'all going to laugh. I think that may go viral, believe me. The things that we have to do to actually get prepared to go live is just comical at this point. And my engineer, he's so sweet. Praise be. Wait, what? I forgot. Wait, what was it called? The Hands. What is the name of that series that I've been watching? The Handmaid's Tale. You guys, I've been obsessed with this. This is a series, right? And I kid you not, I'm getting nervous at this point. Why? Because I'm saying this is going to happen to us. The Handmaid's Tale. You have to watch a couple of those. Now, interesting enough, that's the only way. That is one of the series where I actually sat down and watched a whole bunch of them, because I get bored with like TV. I don't mind watching like a little clip on my phone. I'm always on my phone. I'm a phone person. So, but this series, So when y'all hear me say praise be, just know that came from there. So praise be, praise be. Y'all gotta watch that. I don't know who has, but please put it in the chat. It's a very interesting sick situation where they're using the Bible to validate their lifestyle. And it just really goes to show how a person can really break down and be manipulated. It's woo. Y'all gotta watch that. You guys gotta watch it. And now, if y'all want me to give y'all some insight on it and to get you to get on there, let me know, man. Sure. Put ones in the chat. I don't mind to tell the story, you know. But I know some people don't like that. Some people are like, no, don't tell me the story. I want to see it. But I hope that I would be able, because you get trailers, right? So I hope that my insight on it will be considered like a trailer for you guys. If you don't even want to see that, even if I don't know if they have a trailer, but they should. But I'm telling you, man, I've been obsessed. I've been watching it. I'm gonna give it a break though, because I got so much work to do. So much. I have so many projects that are coming up. A big one in particular. And so I gotta stay focused. Not to mention, it kind of messes with my mental a little bit, because I'll go into the possibilities of, wow, this could happen to us, this could happen in the world, and you know, nothing is surprising after what has happened to us in 2019 moving forward, and nothing. September is going to be a very interesting month. Let's pay attention to that. September is going to be interesting. Children are going to go back to school. A lot of people are at work, but more are going to be going back to work. I have a lot of relatives that work in the hospital, some way, shape, or form in the medical field, and there is mention of mandatory vaccines coming in August and September. So very interesting. I know that there are some centers in certain schools here in New York, so that gives that for those who want their children to be vaccinated. Y'all already know our sentiments about it. It doesn't make any sense. I'm not moving forward. And I gotta say something about the vaccines. I've noticed, right? And I'm gonna probably mention this later on again today when some other people jump on, when my people jump on. I've noticed that the people who take the vaccine, the people that I've actually either conversated with, or I don't want to, like, people that I know have taken it, or people that I know, you know, that know someone that has taken it, they always say, I'm not taking the second one. No, keep the same energy. You took the first one, you're alive, you're fine. So why is it that people say, I'm not going to take the second one? I mean, you believe in, you know, Fauci and them so much. What is the issue? What is the issue? Can you figure that out, Shaka?
No, unless they heard the first, they got it, then heard about it, and then decided not to take it.
I doubt that. I'm pretty sure that they've been into the information that the whole world has been into. I doubt that they did not hear the pros and cons in regarding taking it, and I doubt that they didn't hear what the streets are saying, as well as what the doctors are saying. There is a video that I wish, and I don't know, that would be the call on the engineer. I wish we could play, but it's a gentleman from Australia who is going in on what is happening with the lockdowns, and mentioning that their government had recently made a statement that, oh, we're so, and I quote, we are so lucky that we haven't had a single person who got the Rona and a single person who have passed from the Rona, hasn't even received it, not a single person. I believe he's right. This is according to their new findings, and he went ham. he stated that, and but they're on lockdown. Pretty long story short, they're on lockdown after everyone else is actually going back to normal, right? Normal of the alleged kidnappings in the world, normal with the sex trafficking in the world, normal with the politics and the rip-offs and the celebrities and whatever. That's the normal that we're actually going back to. Nevertheless to say, but he went in. He blasted them, and he said he is willing to be the person in the forefront to risk whatever it is, him going to jail or whatever, to just protest against what's happening to the people in Australia, right? He is tired. They are still on lockdown. Canada think they slick too, but that's a whole nother story. So your boy Cosby is out. We gotta talk about it. I don't know. Some smell fishy to me. I'm not sure what is your sentiments about it, but nevertheless to say, I am happy. I'm happy that he is out. The whole stories were bogus to begin with, in my opinion. Well, it's not my opinion anymore, right? The appeal courts has dropped the cases, but that's kind of suspect, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about it. Like, how all of a sudden, like, since when they let a brother out? You know what I'm saying? So, was a deal made? What is going on? This reminds me of the Nelson Mandela situation. This reminds me so much of the Nelson Mandela situation. And unfortunately, even in that situation, he had to divorce one of the warriors that kept fighting till the day she ascended. And that was Winnie Mandela. But yeah, Nelson, this reminds me of that. Some kind of conversation must have happened. I'm just assuming that. But like I said, I'm still happy. It's a win. Because the case was just very interesting from the beginning. And you know how this thing goes. When you are very well known in the world, these situations happen. Am I saying that he didn't have affairs on his wife or he didn't do his thing on the side? No. But what I am saying is that, money is money, and people will do whatever they got to do to get their money. Also, people like Cosby, who is very knowledgeable on our history, the true history, and him trying to get word on the street, him trying to get certain networks, buying certain networks, and he has a certain he has wealth, wasn't sitting well with the upper hierarchy for some reason. Them people up there, the 1%, is the negative 1% really. And that was what's said in the streets, that he was planning on buying a network, and he was planning on doing putting and promoting some positiveness, so to get us together as a people. But people have their sentiments about him. I know he had made one statement years ago. Do you remember the statement that Bill Cosby stated about black people? We make too many excuses. I have to look that up.
They gave him a little bit of grief for it, but it was a true statement. They tried to bang on him about it, but it was a whole true statement. Like,
right.
You can't blame others anymore about what they
right. He says something, and I'm paraphrasing, that black people can't keep blaming white people for their downfalls, or having a pity party. We'll try to look up what was his exact words verbatim, but I know that was, those statements became very controversy, and his people was not feeling him. And as my engineer is stating, I don't know if y'all heard him in the background, but he was saying that his statement was very true. So because he said that, I definitely want to look up exactly what he said, so that we can probably have an open discussion about that, whether that's true or not. But what do y'all think about him getting out, though? Like, what do y'all think about it? We're gonna read exactly what happened. Obviously, you can. I guess he appealed his case, and it went to the appellate court.
The
Is this?
situation is like this. He appealed his case. He appealed his case because originally he already had a deal in place. He had a deal in place, and the prosecutors reneged on the deal and actually took him to trial. He was never supposed to even go to trial because he had made a deal more in a civil nature with the prosecutors. And the prosecutors and the DA illegally took that man to trial and brought those witnesses out and paraded him out there into the public.
So you know this for sure. He definitely made a deal.
He had a deal before before the trial even started. You know what I'm saying?
And both parties agreed.
The DA shitted on him.
So this deal obviously was a contract, and so parties already agreed to it, signed the contract, and they still was able to do that.
Yep.
Very interesting.
But, if you got good lawyers, they'll be able to fight it. They talk about it as a technicality, but they tried him on a technicality. How do you have a deal in place that gets you no jail time, no trial, no taxpayers' money being wasted, and then the DA start beating his chest, thinking he got somebody want to try to make this man an example? That's really what that was about.
But the DA is not ultimately the person that makes the decision.
But he represents the state. Yes, if he brings a case forward,
yes,
then
he do represent the
state. The judge
has to accept the case.
Has to, but the judge is compelled to hear the case, to hear what the complaint is. And what happened was he had all these people coming out the woodwork.
Dirty.
You know what I'm saying?
Dirty. Y'all see how they do dirty.
The man did what he did, right? But how is it that 40 years later, somebody wants to complain about it?
Well, simultaneously while this happened, this is a big major news, and I want the back end on the story. I definitely want the back end on the story as to what's going on. But
shout out to the co-host while you're in the building.
Peace, what's going on? You want to give a shout out to some of the people that's in the chat?
Yeah. Shout out to Wiz.
Peace.
Shout out to Pasha, Sister Pasha.
What's good?
Shout out to Kay.
What's going on?
You know what I'm saying? And people filling the room up slowly but surely.
Yes,
you know
we got a lot to talk about. What is going on with this Cosby thing?
Yeah, and the chat line will be open for anybody that wants to give their take on the situation.
Yeah, y'all gotta call.
Let's talk about it. Let's have a two-way conversation.
Something ain't right. Now, I don't know if you guys know, but Trump, your boy Trump was at a hearing with some heavy hitters speaking about the border, speaking about how people are crossing the border and the issues that they're having, and the drugs that are coming in on a daily basis. So it's kind of interesting how this Cosby case came out while that was happening. Very interesting. So, after a while, when you start to do this work, you could just instantly start, pairing things up. You'll start seeing the correlation. You'll start seeing the okie doke right away, instantly. So that was like really a big one for me. Like, Trump is at the seat talking about the issues that's going on across the border, something that he has addressed. Y'all already know this man was like obsessed with this wall, right? Something that he addressed from very beginning of him being in the office, right? And something that he did a pretty good job in cutting down the activities that was coming across the board. And now it's like up for bid right now. They're talking about hundreds of thousands of people are flooding over again. Um, so that's one situation, but a lot of drugs. So they mention certain drugs that are coming across, and this is for educational purposes only. And it's just very interesting how he's sitting at the table having this discussion with some of the federal workers and certain people, right? And the Cosby thing gets out. So do you guys think that was kind of like, once again, the government way of distracting us while other things are going on? Like, what do you guys think about that? I really want to know. I need y'all to call in. What number are they going to be calling in today? Okay, 646-776-3818 number. That's where y'all need to call in. We need to know what's going on before we move to the next subject, because I really want y'all to see the closing statement of this other hearing. It's like, it's comical to me. It's comical, but the story is very sad. The story is very sad, and I want y'all to really listen into this. Your boy Cosby's out. It's on the messenger on Facebook. What is the chat saying about this Cosby situation?
Okay, is shouting Bill out.
Peace. How are you?
Pasha said someone on IG said that BC is now a Moor, and that is how he got out. Okay.
Okay. Something new.
Said Bill Cosby was set up. They wanted him done because he was wealthy and because of the NBC situation.
That's true. He didn't want to buy a network. NBC was the network.
Yeah. Pasha said, I don't have an issue with BC getting out. Whomever it was,
I don't have an
fed
issue.
up on a deal that they originally made, and because NBC was prosecuted unfairly, so now he's out.
This is true.
Shout out to Crazy World. He said peace to the chat, peace to the show. And
Pasha, I have a question. I don't have any issue with him coming out now, but isn't it interesting the day that Trump is having a seating and speaking about the issues across the border is kind of like around the same time is the same time that he gets out. So like, it's interesting how they sealed the deal. It's all about the timing.
Timing is always about that smoke and mirrors game they play.
And do y'all think that he could have made a different deal outside of this? You know what I mean? What do y'all think about that? Do you know about the Nelson Mandela situation? Do y'all think that there's a possibility that may have happened as well? Like, what do y'all think about that?
Well, the thing
Let me see what the chat is
he
talking
made
about.
a deal to not have to go to trial. That's the thing.
Right, but that's kind of, and that's another thing. This gotta go. That's another thing. People will say because he made that deal, he's guilty. And in my opinion, that's not necessarily true all the time. Sometimes people want to be going with what's happening, and they don't want this thing to be dragged out. People know how the judicial system works, period. And so people don't want to have to drag things out all the time. I mean, hopefully you guys can consider that as a possibility. So if he had a deal, who the block told, like, this is how you don't have any faith in this court system. You just like, how do you have faith when situations happen like that? When you make a deal, they agree to the deal, and the DA and them could just come through and do whatever.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even have faith with something like that?
And that's the question we want to put up. Do you have? Put it up now.
They have faith in the judicial system.
Yep, you have faith in the justice system.
I know that some people will still say that they do. Some people will be like, I still have faith. I still have faith in the master. Now, granted, I know that in certain situations we don't have no choice. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. And I get it. And granted. But, who is going to have faith? Who is really going to have faith? It's all about who you know now. And shit, in my opinion, you better know a damn judge. Because not even a lawyer is going to be able to help you at this point. You better know a judge. Okay? So, you want to play the clip with Cosby, or you just want to go to the next thing? And another thing is, peace. Pasha Sada said those 5 young men are innocent from the Central Park. That's true. Incident many years ago, and they were exonerated. That I do know. And the Central Park incident many years ago, and there was a deal made on innocent young Aboriginal men then too. They did not have a choice either, and they served time. This is very, very true. There I watched the movie, although the movie is watered down, but they also went live several times to speak about their case, and they were very involved in their movie, in the play, the taking of the movie. But that is definitely a prime example of those young men. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Corey, I believe that's his name, wasn't even in the park. He happened to be coming along with his friend to the precinct to be questioned. So he wasn't involved at all. And the interesting thing about that is that Corey got the worst. Due to the fact that he was 16, he went straight into the adult prison, and he got the worst treatment out of all the young men. In addition to, he didn't really have a family support. I believe his mother was on drugs at the time, and he wasn't able to get in contact with his sister. So he got the worst out of all of them. The person who was not even involved. Like, how crazy could that be? That thing, like, I let my young God watch it, and we just went over certain things. He asked questions. I asked him, out of the parents, the 5 parents, who do you think that I would have been in there? And he definitely told me who he thought. He knows for sure I would have been, because I wouldn't be having it. It's just really a bittersweet situation. It's very, very sad. And this is why I always say that we need to be a nation. We need to be in unison. And we need we need resources, and we need to practice group economics, because that case is just a prime example of how our children really and truly suffer, and it's very, very, very sad. Very sad. So yes. Let's see. Yes, Pasha said only to get out years later with the world knowing that they were innocent. Right. And time was lost. I think they were like young men getting out. Time was lost, and that you can never repay back. But look at all the men right now, currently, as we speak, that are in jail, that are innocent. And some people are in jail for, like, I kid you not, for stealing a beer, or taking a beer, stealing a beer out of store, for a backpack, for like crazy things. I'm talking about these men, because these were back in the day, like in the 60s and 70s and 80s. These men are elders. They're older now. They spent 20 and 30 years in jail for the bull crap. And it's just just so sad that our people have to suffer the way we do. Now, some people will say, "Oh, it's our fault," you know. Hey, that's up for discussion. But what I will say is that there are a lot of programs. COINTELPRO is one a heavy hitter that are in place to make sure that we don't do well. You know, millions of dollars is spent every day on these stupid memes that are on social media that is used to divide us and play with our psyche and detour us from our principles and values. So it is what it is. And if you don't, you have to be aware of it for one, but you have to not fall subject to it for two. So even if you're aware of it, sometimes people still fall subject because they feel like there's not much that we can do. We don't have the power, so we have to just go with the flow, you know, and it's just unfortunate. Years later, I want this man to play this video so we can talk about this video. I'm not quite sure, but I'm hearing from Afisha that Biz Markie, he's not sick.
He's sick, but he didn't.
Biz Markie did not die. Okay, so if you guys have heard anything about Biz Markie, legendary Biz Markie dying, is not true.
It's not true.
Okay, but he is sick, and we wish him well. Okay, hope he probably gonna come back with a 6-pack. We wish him well. He's a big guy. Shaka introduced me to him one day, and we wish him well. We wish him well. We hope that all is well with him and his family. We do not need another legend. We don't need to hear nothing about another legend passing away. Point blank and period. Like, I'm tired of it. It's like a reoccurring thing. It's like back to back to back to back to back. And I'm like, what? So, if any of you guys want that information, it's not true. And we just going to continue. We just keep him in your prayers, okay? Keep him in your prayers, and that's about it. We're waiting for the engineer to play this video. You guys, I'm telling y'all, you can't make this up. You cannot make this up. It's hilarious. And I'm telling y'all, please, I know from state to state to state, we're opening up. Some states never close. Continue to take your vitamin C's. Continue to take your NAC. Continue to take your vitamin D's. Continue to detox, especially now. This is like the perfect time to detox in the heat. Nobody's really, well, some people, but most people are not wanting to eat anything heavy or anything. You don't want to be around anything hot. So you just probably want to drink a lot of liquids. Detox, fast as much as you can, as often as you can. Take advantage of this beautiful weather. I know it can get overheated, and so you definitely do have to stay hydrated. You have to make sure your skin, as well. Get one of those spray fan, the fans that have the water bottle, and when you spray, it's fanning, and also the water's coming out. I have one of those. Oh man, brilliance. You feel it. So when your skin is wet, and then that fan is just coming up on you, you're feeling that breeze. You're feeling good. All right? Go to the beach. That's where I need to go. I need to get to the beach. I'm definitely going to somebody's beach before the summer is out. Get my feet on the sand. Pray to the ancestors. Wear my white and keep it moving. For real. So make sure y'all do what y'all got to do in the midst of everything going on, because you do not want to get distracted. Trust me, you don't want to get distracted. It's a lot to come. They're talking about a different and stronger variant of this the V. I'm gonna call it the V. So you still want to make sure that you stay good. You don't want to do what you gotta do. Someone said peace to the unvaccinated. You ready? I'm not going to even mention who wrote that. All right, if you ready, be ready. We was born ready, so be ready.
Okay. Here we go.
tell me what y'all think about this closing statement. This is someone who's supposed to be representing themselves in court. I'll tell you all about the story once you listen to this.
Mr. O'Neill, you need to speak audibly so that the jury can hear what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am, I haven't begun yet. I was talking to my father. He showed you a fraudulent recording where they allege that I beat Kenyatta Barron to death. He talked about Mr. Khalil Brown, my neighbor who stayed across the street. But if Mr. Khalil Brown was a help to them proving me guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, they would have called Mr. Khalil Brown. But I called Mr. Khalil Brown to be a witness for me. And I didn't ask him to lie about one thing that he saw that night. I asked him to tell the jury exactly what he saw that night. And you have to ask yourself why that is. Because he's playing a fraudulent damn recording of me beating Kenyatta Barron 15 damn times when that did not happen. And like I told you earlier, you will know the truth, whether in this trial or the next one. Better believe it. If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not.
All right, Mr. O'Neill, please stop using swearing language. It's not appropriate in a closing argument.
Now he played a recording that was sped up. Why didn't you play the regular recording that people can understand what the call was saying?
An objection to the defendant asking me questions, Your Honor.
I'm going to sustain
I'm talking to
okay.
people.
Mr. O'Neill, listen, please just keep in mind this is not personal towards the prosecutors. Please keep your comments directed towards the evidence and the law. Thank you.
Yeah, all these objections now. I know for a fact Kenyatta Barron's recording from her phone did not record calls sped up like that.
I'm going to object now. He's talking about facts, not in evidence of what he knows.
Again, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, as you were instructed, the closing arguments are just that. They're not the evidence or the instruction on the law. It's just what the parties believe the evidence shows or does not show. All right? Thank you.
You heard Mr. Khalil Brown. You've been hearing me for 2 weeks now, telling you that they committed criminal acts against me with the 911 calls and that fraudulent video that they just showed y'all. Now, I'm going to prove it to you. You heard Khalil Brown. He said that he was actually sure that I only hit Kenyatta Barron 3 times. You heard. I called him to tell you that. I ain't running from nothing. They didn't call Khalil Brown to tell you that. I did. You have to ask yourself why that is. Because I want you to know the actual facts. I did kill Kenyatta Barron. But I want you to tell it like it is if you're going to tell it.
Mr. O'Neill, you need to speak audibly so that the jury can hear what you're saying.
Yes, ma'am, I haven't begun yet.
Okay, guys, I'm reading the child fatality summary. There were many parties involved: Ronnie O'Neill, Kenyatta Barron, which is the mother, and Ron Nivea O'Neill, and the son, who is alive. On March 18, 2008, allegedly that the death of a 9-year-old Ron Nivea O'Neill, which is the daughter of this gentleman that was just speaking about, that was just doing his closing statement or closing argument. Ron Nivea O'Neill was hospitalized on 3/19/2018. So this case, this situation or the incident occurred on 2018, but he's just now going through his trial, representing himself, going through his trial, and you just seen his heard his closing statement. So he was 29 at the time. I want to laugh because I promise you, I was like, what the hell is going on here? All right. I'm like, what the hell? He admitted to killing her.
I did kill Kanye.
But y'all going to say how I did it. I'm going to take a moment to laugh, but this case is very serious. It's very sad. And that brings me to the word narcissism, because I'm not quite sure if you guys don't know, but the surviving person, who is his son, obviously if this happened in 2018, his son was 8 at the time. The son is now 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like he's 13 now, 12, 13 years young. He had to recently testify what happened that night. And because, he had to relive the whole thing. And because his father is representing himself, that was the first time him ever seeing his father. And I don't know if I can get the clip for you and play, and you can play that too. But it has seen him since that night. And he had to testify as to what happened. So you didn't see his face, but you seen his hands, and one of his hands is severely burned. It is a really crazy situation. So the father, who this happened, had to ask questions, because normally if you have a lawyer representing you, then that lawyer would ask questions on the behalf of the father. But because the father is representing himself, he is his own lawyer, and he is asking the child these questions. Like, I don't know. There's no word I could use to describe how crazy that is. It's just a very eccentric situation. It happens, or it has happened. It's not the first time, but we really want to send prayers to the young boy, because I heard the father ask, "Did I ever harm you?" And he said, "Yes." And he said, "How did I harm you?" And the young man said, "You stabbed me." You are literally facing the person who harmed you, who happens to be your father. I don't know, if he will, if he's having, obviously they're definitely going to give him some counseling therapy, but still, how much of that could really help him? But I was going to read the case to you guys, but go ahead, read what the chat is saying before I go forward. The shit was hilarious. His closing statement was crazy.
Pasha said that shows that those devils let the guilty party go and prosecute innocent men because of their hate for the original man. Just think that guilty person is still out there.
This is very true. She's referring to what I was speaking about before, people being incarcerated that's innocent.
Right.
Like small things on top of that.
shout out to Crazy World. He said it's a crazy world.
It's a crazy world.
Shout out to Olori, cousin Olori.
What's going on, Lori? What you think
He
about that?
said Bill is free.
That's
He
right.
said, oh yeah, that's the young man that represented himself. Okay.
Yes. He's representing himself.
Hot damn, I'm not.
You know
Pastor
what?
said that. Hot damn, I'm not. Lori said it's personal. Pastor
Very.
said, wow. Lori said, that's right. Crazy World said he would have had a better chance if he pleaded insanity. But that anybody who, well, they say like this, especially in the public court system, or what some of us know as the statutory court system, right? They say that anyone who represents himself has a fool for a client.
That's what they say.
That's what they say about people who represent themselves. So, that might be this young man's situation, because he clearly brought harm to some people and then want to go up there and try to fight his own case. You'd have been better off taking a plea deal, buddy, because now you get, did they charge him with the death penalty?
Yes, he was. Yes, they said possibly death penalty when they were reading
Okay.
off
So it's possible.
his punishment.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah, he was
that
very
would be the
calm when they were
maximum.
saying it. Very calm.
That would be the maximum in that one. So the question is, do you have faith in the judicial system, given the situation with Bill, where they were able to rectify it, given the situation with his brother who killed his girlfriend, his daughter, and attempted to kill his own son, and went in there and presented himself to the jury in the court? What's going on? Do you have faith in the judicial system? So that's the question that we pose for our constituencies on here, our community, our family, and those watching around the world on YouTube. We want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. You know what I'm saying? So,
Do anybody know about the case though? Like, do anybody know like what happened? It's crazy. So I'll give you a little update. So Ronivia O'Neal was hospitalized from this incident. And the mother, Kenyatta Barron, 33, was also discovered deceased, right? The documentation reflects that the Hillsborough County Sheriff Office responded to the family's home just after midnight on March 19, 2018. And he's just now going to trial due to a call related to a domestic violence. And this is why ladies and men take domestic violence very seriously. Take it seriously, like no matter how minor it is and no matter if you have children with the person, Upon law enforcement's arrival, they discovered that the mother lying face down on the sidewalk near the home. Hillsborough County Fire Rescue arrived at the scene and determined that the mother was deceased. When law enforcement initially arrived at the home, there were no lights coming from the residence. However, a short time later, a light was observed coming from the corner of the home. As the light grew brighter, it was determined to be caused by a fire within the residence, resulting in a law enforcement forcing entry into the home. And when law enforcement gained access to the home, the main living room area was engulfed in flames. Law enforcement yelled for anyone in the residence to exit, and the child came outside. And when he appeared, he was covered in blood, and was observed with a severe abdominal injury and burns, and he was subsequently transported to a local hospital where he received immediate medical attention. Mr. O'Neal exited the home at a short time later, and he was placed into custody. And Ron Nivea, who was nonverbal and on autism spectrum, was discovered in the home with multiple injuries, to include burns and stab wounds. And she succumbed to her injury and was pronounced deceased at the home on March 19, 2018. Like, there is a video of the son testifying, little small clips on YouTube if you guys care to look at it. You can actually visually see one of his hands is completely burned. Obviously, the prosecutors and and the DA purposely, set that up for people to really see, because you can see the clear distinction between the two hands. And it's just a really sad situation. So for some of people, I found it comical when I first was listening to him, defend himself in the way he was defending himself. But when you read this story and you hear his son's testimony along with his father's testimony as well, you really just go, wow, look how far-fetched our people are, acting like the degenerates out here. How do you have the heart? What made you do that? The little boy said, I think just before he burned him or stabbed him, he said, you better repeat these words, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, or Allahu Akbar, either or. But I don't know. What y'all think about that? Do y'all think that he deserves what he got from it? Now, there had to be some little playing around in the case, because he is admitting to killing her, but he's saying that they tampered with the audio when I guess the lady was either calling the cops or calling whoever, and he was making mention of that, like, I want the truth to be told right in exactly how it was. But he just seems so cold, like he doesn't have any remorse for what he's done. And when he spoke to his son for the first time, he said, hey son, how you doing? And he smiled. There was just like no remorse. You guys got to really see that case. Y'all really see it. But anyway, what do you guys think about that? It's just a bittersweet situation. I didn't want to read into all that happened.
Yes, it's a unique situation, terrible situation at that.
Yeah, so he Mr. O'Neal shot the girlfriend with the shotgun. The actual shotgun, instantly. And I'm just trying to figure out what, there's nothing in the world that should have allowed you to do that. Even if there was cheating involved or whatever the case might be. If it's not out of self-defense, if someone's trying to kill you, there's no reason to even go that far. And, we have to be mindful of the mental issues we have, as Americans, and especially in our communities. And for us, because of the taboo, and we're going to have a whole segment on that, right? Getting mental health. There is a taboo, and we're going to have to talk about that. We have to talk about that.
Yeah, so the chat is saying, shout out to Eugenio, he said peace to the gods.
Peace.
Make an example of him, so like that, so that other people won't attempt to do it.
To do that?
Right. To do something against their own family.
This is true.
Crazy World says the baby boy said it was him. Don't believe kid was lying.
No.
Fry him.
Oh yeah, I definitely
Lori
believe
says, yeah, he gotta go.
he gotta go.
She said he shot her instantly.
Right.
Yeah, he gotta go. why he said that's so sad.
It's so
It's
sad.
sad because the young man has no family
It's so
and has
sad.
to live the rest of his life with that image, with that optic, and that experience of all of that trauma. You know,
But then have to really
It's horrible.
face his, face his dad in a time. Like, he got to revisit that. It's just, the whole story is just, like, interesting to me. But my situation to you guys is, and Umar Johnson had touched on this a lot, mental health, is really big. Is really big. And so, yeah, we can say to him, yeah, you gotta go, but clearly he is disconnected. He is this, there's no fiber in his bone, in my opinion, when I observe how he's talking, and I've watched other clips outside of this clip, and he just seems disconnected, And as a parent, right, correct me if I'm wrong, like, you will go above and beyond for your child, to some extent if the child just don't want to, don't want the help. But I'm just trying to say, like, mental health, like, these things, the roots of our situations have to be addressed moving forward. We just can't go, okay, this person did this act or whatever, and we're going to, he's going to be punished for it, and we don't deal with the underlying cause of what's going on. Like, why would you kill your child, the mother of your children, and your children? You attempted to kill your son, but he made it out. What kind of craziness is that? And, a lot of this is happening. I don't know if you can show them the footage of the incident that happened in the Bronx. I'll just play it on my phone. Kay had brought this to my attention. A young man did a shooting. He was shooting at someone else while two children were there. And once again, it's like he blacked out and there is no remorse. Like, he didn't care about the children. He didn't care about the community. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, even back in the day when the OGs were out there, right? There was some principle. There was, with all the shootings and the hitman and all these things going on, there was some rules to this shit. I'm sure. What the hell happened to the rules? There were some rules. Even back in the day with all that was going on, drugs was flooding the community. You listen, if you had a mistress, she know not to step to your wife. Off limits. If you gonna have a hit, there weren't no children around like that. I'm not saying that I condone even that, but still there were some rules to it, and those rules completely just, I don't know where they went. They're under the crevices of the earth or something. Like, where the hell are the rules? I have to show y'all this video. Like, once again, there's a lot of issues going on that need to be addressed. Me personally, because I know history, and because I live in my community with my people, and I see how the mental health is not being addressed, and I don't blame people, because once again, the people that are licensed to help you, you literally put in your hand, they, at their discretion, they can claim you to be incompetent, they can claim you to be mentally retarded, they can put a label on you. And when you are trying to do certain things in your life, or you have other responsibilities like children or whatever, you have to put your mental health in the back and do the best you can so that you can help your family out. So there are some pros and cons with getting the help, but this has to be addressed. This has to be talked about, because clearly that brother right there was on another level of things. You know what I'm saying? Like a whole freaking another level that none of us can really, most of us won't be able to relate to. And I thought he would have a breakdown hearing his son's voice and just seeing his hands. No, not at all. What the hell happened to him? What happened to him? Hold on 1 minute.
Yeah, what did happen to him? How did that come to pass? Right? So now what's being said in the chat is, Lori said, but honestly, the whole world is going crazy right now. Everybody's nuts. Pasha said, back in the day, there was a code. Lori said, they changed the rules when they put something new in the water. Waddy said, he definitely was wilding, but he did actively try not to shoot the kids. About the guy in the Bronx.
Okay.
Pasha said, there is no code now. Those that were supposed to teach the rules never taught them because they got locked up, died, or moved on, etc.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? So there was definitely something. There was definitely something to that.
All right. Let me let you guys listen to this video because this is what Wadji was talking about in the shooting. Right. It's definitely not. It's not the same anymore. It's not safe anymore. I wasn't really in the streets to a certain extent, but you know, at least, I know there was. I know there was some sort of code. Okay, put this to the video. I mean to the camera. Excuse me. You tap the screen to make sure it don't close. Okay. So yeah, I hear Wadji. I mean, it definitely don't look like he was trying to, like aim at the children. But my thing is, once you seen them, like just how would you continue? Would you have stopped and say, you know what, I'm gonna have to visit this dude on another day. This is not the right timing. You know what I'm saying? So like even back in the days when I'm certain. I mean, maybe I watched too many movies and maybe it's not real. But even with a hitman, it's strategic. It was done at a certain time when no one was there. First of all, when no one, you don't want witnesses, right? I mean, that's just my logical common sense. This is in broad daylight. But I do want to bring another aspect to that. The beast was in that guy. Did the person who he was trying to shoot, did he do something to his family member, to his mother, to someone? Because he clearly wanted this guy out. And if that be the case, this is why I always say, when you do stuff, you have to think about not just yourself, but your loved ones. Because sometimes things may not come back to you, but they will definitely come back to your loved ones, right? So it's like sometimes you feel like you got rid of your enemies, but did you really get rid of them? Because their offspring is going to always come for you. And it's going to be a reoccurring thing over and over and over and over again. That's just the cycle of life. So it's like, what is going on out here? Like, people are just coming in broad daylight. People are just doing stuff. But I must say, if any of you ever listened to Dick Gregory, he was one of the best, in my opinion, detectives and journalists. The way he opened my eye to see things in the midst of, how this media is putting things out is very interesting to me. So I always ask certain questions about whether things are strategic, what's going on. He even says sometimes they'll say they were drive-bys, but it wasn't really a drive-by. There's people coming because they need organs. This is why it's not really a good thing to put your blood type or certain things or say you'll be a donor on when you apply for your ID or your driver's license, because Sometimes people need certain organs, and you may be a perfect match. And you best believe that there are people out there who have money, who are not patient enough to wait on the waiting list, right? Things happen. Allegedly, things do happen. So, you gotta be really careful and mindful, and it's just unfortunate that the day we live in, we have to just be like, we can't be at peace. We don't have a break. We don't have rest. You know, I was talking to Shaka. He was just saying, you know, listen, when I was 9, 10, 11, 12, I would travel 10 and 20 and 30 blocks. That's unheard of right now for a 10-year-old to be traveling by themselves at this time. It just don't happen. The parents have to literally have an escort or have a family member go, you take the child somewhere and bring them back if they're unable to take them themselves. So 13 years young, you know, people are not traveling the way they used to back in the day. And it's because the kidnappings are really high. So many things are really, really high right now. And it's just unfortunate. So what do you guys think about that guy? Do it look like he was trying to avoid shooting the children? Did it look like he cared? Or, like, what do you think about it? All right, Shaka, what is the chat talking about?
Shout out to 6 Speed.
What's poppin'?
You know.
Hey.
Lori said he wasn't trying not to hit the child either. Crazy World said these new guys use babies for shields. Lori says he was coming at dude like he was avenging his father's death.
And I don't know the outcome of that. Did he die? Does it look like he don't know how to shoot anyway?
I don't think he died.
You know how to
Pasha
shoot.
said he was wrong. He did not care about shooting those children.
Right.
Lori said, yes, definitely, the invasion of the body snatchers right now. So he didn't even care. He just saw red.
Yo. There's a lot going on, guys. We gotta pay attention. There's a lot going on. Once again, for those who are just coming in, Bismarcky is not dead. So if you heard about that news, that's not true. He is sick. He's getting well. He's definitely not dead. And we had showed a clip about, you know, another case that was happening. It's a very sad situation. But you guys should just, you know, rewatch this video later on tonight. Yo, have y'all been keeping update with Kwame Brown? Let me tell you something. Long story short, we had covered it before. Kwame Brown, ex-NBA player, right? You know, I don't know if he got some, whatever. I'm not into the basketball, so I'm not going to play myself right now. But Charlemagne on the radio had made a statement a while ago. And the statement was that y'all better leave Kwame Brown. I'm paraphrasing. Y'all better leave him alone because, you know, his brother killed and shot somebody. His father did something, and he painted that family out to be like notorious killers. All right, no lie. Kwame Brown and Charlemagne's family come from the same county, and I believe South Carolina. Kwame Brown went off. And he has been on fire ever since. He has been keeping it real. I love this guy. I enjoy this guy. He speaks about, you know, starting programs and trades for the children. Just the real stuff that we always talk about. The stuff that we know. But and so every time someone speaks about his situation, he goes ham on them. I mean, he goes in on their ass. Dr. Boyce Watkins was one of the people who, you know, recently challenged him. Dr. Boyce Watkins had made a statement because he was replaying what Dr. Boyce Watkins said. And in one of Dr. Boyce Watkins' shows, he said, well, you know, the problem is Kwame, and I'm paraphrasing, Kwame Brown don't have any white people that he have to answer to. That blew my mind. And he pointed that out. You know what I mean? That was a marker for him to just go ham on. And it just brings me to the fact that Dr. Boyce Watkins, if you guys don't know, is supposed to be a man similar to Umar Johnson, similar to other people in the conscious community, right? Who are, supposed to be speaking and advocating for their people. So for him to make a statement like that was very interesting to me, needless to say. So the question I would ask is, do you have any white people, that you have to answer to? Because why would you make that statement? But let me tell y'all something. Recently, he went ham on Diddy. I don't know what Diddy said, but he called him I was about to say the Scooter Gang. Oh, Lord. He called him, you know what? Let me be quiet. I'm going to let y'all listen to a little bit of what he had to say about Diddy. And I am concerned for him. I'm concerned about his authenticity to come more near his organic views. And I just feel like we have to say prayers for him. Kwame is keeping it real. He's unfiltered. He do try to, make sure he stay within the community guidelines of YouTube. But outside of that, he's on some real stuff. Now, I don't know. He was recently on Tasha K. If you guys know about her, I'm not feeling her ever since her, it's very interesting. Her interview with this guy, the new god for the men. But listen to what he had to say.
You might attract someone looking for.
I'm like, you can't make this up. Come.
Superstars. So what's not gonna want from your meat? Let's talk about you in those gray sweatpants. So I women out there that want to know. What they love?
You said your grace.
One question need to be asked. Exactly. It's one question. Like, holy. You didn't tell me he's like that.
Can y'all hear?
You didn't tell me all about that.
Hold up. So you mean tell me the men around you guys stop and ask a man, is that all you in your sweatpants?
But Diddy is known Diddy is known for making statements like that. Like, yo, I want to take you shopping. I remember 50 Cent, mentioning that, like, yo, I'm a grown-ass man. And it's not like I'm a man that don't have it, because some men may not have it. So you're expressing, a positive sentiment about helping another man out, no homo, as you guys would say. But Diddy is known for making saying things like that, But let's go.
About this gray sweatpants whole phenomenon and what women can see. A woman told me about it. A woman that I was dating said, I don't want you wearing them goddamn gray sweatpants. And if you wear them, I want you to wear boxers and some shorts up underneath them. Then you wear them.
You're damn right.
But why is a man asking another man, is that all you in them sweatpants? What is the purpose of that? And how is that hip hop? Boy, you a patch-eyed demon for real, boy. Who owned this radio station? Y'all got to find this shit out. I heard a lot of people throwing Diddy name around saying it's Revolt. I don't know. I'm just asking. Is it Diddy? Who owned the Breakfast Club? Is it all up under one umbrella? Is it iHeart? Who is it? Who owns this thing? Because we got to find out who is running the show on this type of shit. Because this boy is just a puppet. Who is putting in front of our boys the image of a black man that's asking other men, is that all them in their pants? What the fuck does that have to do with manhood? And what the fuck does that have to do with hip hop? And why the fuck are you asking another man that question without a slap going across the side of your goddamn face? I told y'all, this is a ritual that they're doing in front of us. And if it is Revolt TV, then that makes sense. Because there's a lot of alleged stories about Mr. Take That, P. Diddy, take that. There's a lot of stories about your little funny looking ass and how you always doing the black folks, Mr. Vote or Die, with no point or no message behind it. Vote for what? Who we gonna vote for? Vote or die. You've been dancing and keeping people distracted and talking about fucking voting for a long motherfucking time. It ain't nothing changed. When you gonna put your motherfucking money up, punk? Why ain't y'all at the Breakfast Club and Revolt TV building motherfucking coding centers all around the country and putting the best goddamn teachers in it? Since you want to take that. Why you ain't doing that? If this is allegedly your company and what you doing, why you ain't putting coding in trade schools all around America? Since you want to tell people, black people messages and voting to die, what the fuck has that gotten to, sir? You the same nigga that want to create rituals and send niggas that's trying to sing all the way across a goddamn bridge to bring your big jaw ass some cheesecake? Don't you got limos and shit to take your punk ass and get your own goddamn cheesecake? Yeah, see, that's why, yeah. See, that's what I mean by behind the scenes trouble. That's why I gotta up my game up behind the scenes. Cause see, this shit getting ugly. This shit getting nasty. The same very motherfuckers that wanna open their goddamn mouth for the black community, that got all this goddamn money, they ain't did a motherfucking thing for the black community but talk shit. Vote or die. Coding a motherfucking beep. Fuck you talking about, nigga? Trades out of schools where black males don't have no skills, so they gotta do all this punk ass pandering that this punk bitch do for them white boys just to get a goddamn job. If that patch-eyed demon had 3 trades, he can make 6 figures without.
Listen, man, if y'all want to hear the rest of this, I'm telling y'all, go to Kwame Brown on IG, go to Kwame Brown on Instagram. I would love to chop it up with this brother because I know I would be laughing. I'm definitely gonna reach out. Let me tell you, he's been on a rant, all right, and he's not letting down. I think he even spoke about Little Nas X. He spoke about a lot of stuff. It's just like, you know, in the entertainment world and like any other world or whatever, you know, when you form alliances, even if you disagree with something, you know, it's like taboo. You can't speak about it. And so for someone who used to be in the NBA, who still has his little connections here and there, just a regular, you know, citizen, is he's coming out and he's on fire. Y'all gotta really watch him. I'm telling you, it's entertainment all the time. I'll tell you, this dude is hilarious. He is hilarious. But he keeps it real. He always speaks about the importance of the children coding. Coding is very important. You know, it's okay to be a basketball player. It's okay to be other things, and musicians and artists and stuff like that, and actors. But we need engineers. You know what I'm saying? We need scientists. We need other, you know, we have to expose our children to those possibilities. And even for me, for my children, I don't care what sport they play and they dominate it and they get far in it, they still have to learn those other things. They still have to learn it because believe me, them knees are going to lock in at some point. Believe me. They're not going to stay still. I don't care. Unless you're planning on cloning yourself, and that's a whole nother situation there. We should definitely talk about this new project with cloning. All right? So what do y'all think about Kwame Brown, man? He has been going ham lately. Do y'all think he's speaking some truth, or do y'all think that he's another attention seeker who is just trying to come up in the game? Now, he goes live damn near like twice a day now, but I'm okay with that. If you're speaking the truth, I don't see any issues with it at all. And, you know, I just wish him well. I wish him well. When you don't have nobody to answer to, like according to Dr. Boyce, and you start to say some things, them boys like to come for you, boy. I tell you, they like to come for you. They like to come for you.
One thing is, you'd be surprised who's listening. You don't know who's listening.
Every damn celebrity out there. He's a celebrity. He was a celebrity himself.
Right. You don't know who's listening. He's somebody that played at the highest level, came out of high school playing the game, came out of high school straight to the NBA, got drafted by Michael Jordan to the Washington Wizards.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, he getting up there with your boy, the God, the man's God. The man should not be mentioning. He's getting up there with his views and his subscribers. He's breaking they're breaking the internet right now. Well, go ahead.
But we all know not only does sex sell, controversy sells as well. So,
And
you know,
information.
right, you get information, but that controversy is what gets people's attention. And you know, when you get people's attention, you gotta make it worth their while. Make it worth their while so they can actually benefit from it.
Right.
So, you know, we gotta be mindful, gotta always keep in mind to protect these children.
Yes.
Children are out
Yes.
here, you know. Now, anybody that has like you know, any services, anybody that has any product, anybody that has any music, you know, send us an email. We'll work on promoting your trade, your skill, your service, right here on House of Harlem Studio. We'll do whatever we can to try to get your vision seen by the world.
It's
So
their fun- it's
give
their-
us hit us in an email, houseofharlemtv@gmail.com. You know, let us know you want to promote your product, and we'll work with you to get your product promoted on our platform.
Absolutely. Can I get my product promoted on the platform? Would you work with me?
I see what I could do. I think I get your people to talk to my people,
Let's see what
and
we can come up
you
with.
know, our people can become peoples. You know what I'm saying?
So where's this funny video at? Where's this funny video? You got it up or what?
Yeah. Let's get
Let's
that
play this
thing
little
going.
video before I move on to this next
We
story.
got a funny video. You know, this brother's on
It's hilarious.
on IG, I think, and TikTok. He has hella videos.
It's hilarious.
He be going in on a whole, plethora of things. You know, catching a lot of artists and rappers off guard. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all might be familiar with the video. Brother is definitely gaining some traction out here on these streets. So that's why we want to, let people know about it. So it's funny as hell. So check it out. Real quick.
Why you think I still write some beats? Every day I get to the rough guy. Shouldn't even tell me what I'm yet. I call you 3 times, boy. I do. Shouldn't even tell me what I'm yet. I call you 3 times, boy. It's still around. Shouldn't even tell me. Why you think I still write some beats? Every day I get to the rough guy. Shouldn't even tell me what I'm yet. I call you 3 times, boy. I do. Shouldn't even tell me what I'm yet. I call you 3 times, boy. It's still around. Shouldn't even tell me. Why you think I still write some beats?
Yo.
No, I am them. When they when word got out that Bill Cosby was definitely coming out, that's how people was feeling. What the bomba clotta going on? What is going on?
Yeah, I call you 3 times. I want rights and peace.
I can't. So, I have some information to give you guys
Go ahead. Yeah, 'cause something else too.
about starting to peel back and finding your family history, genealogy, and so forth and so on. We mentioned here on this platform a couple of times about the Book of Mormons, right? I know you're like, who the hell are these people? having one of the outside of Bill Gates, because he had the largest data platform there is, and I'm pretty sure a lot of our history is there, as well as the Vatican. But the Mormons have a really large archive of information, and there's a program that they're running right now to help you find your family history and assist you in that matter. Shaka and I did go down there on Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? We went down there on Wednesday. We had a ball. I have some footage of it, and we'll be going down there again. Apparently, Shaka's family, one of his family members put down in the census that he's from Indonesia. Some fucking weird. Yeah, this nigga's supposed to be.
That was a fucking joke.
He was supposed to be Bayesian. What is going on? But so if you guys are interested in knowing more about this program, now I'm giving a disclaimer. There's a reason why they're trying to help us, and what is the reason why they're what is their goal in helping us? What are their goals? What did they say? To uplift fallen humanity?
Not quite.
No, it wasn't that?
It wasn't that.
Okay.
They are of the mind that we all are one. So they're going to give you the notion, which is, they're not wrong. You know what I mean? I don't want to make it appear as if they're wrong about their sentiment, because we all come from the source of all creation.
The source. The infinite supreme intelligence.
It's infinite supreme intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we all are going to return to that. You know what I'm saying? Just like water always finds its level.
That's right.
So,
Water be shape changing real quick.
right,
Water be like, what you want me to do right now? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Water don't play, all right?
Right.
So if you guys are interested, let me know. I'm just putting it out there. It was very exciting for me to be able to. I was trying to look for my grandmother and my great-grandmother, my grandfather's mother. And my grandfather was enlisted into the Army at a certain period. And I could not find his mother because I tried to do the search on my own at one point in time in life. And this person was able to help me kind of like get some documents. So there are documents out there, and these people they're beasts with it. The goal is to make sure we get that land. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Where the patents at? Where the land at? Where the deeds at? But our ancestors, as they stated, our ancestors are excited. They want to be found.
Yes,
and so,
yes,
and that was what they had mentioned, and I found that to be true. So Shaka discovered some stuff about himself. Like I said, his folks, them people came knocking on the door, and they was like, well, where are you from? He said, Indonesia. They said, all right, that's what we're going to put. And I'm like, well, I'm not understanding why they spelling my grandma's name like this. He said, listen, some of the people are deaf. They just heard whatever you said. They just wrote it down and they went about their business. So you're going to find a lot of those situations right there. But it's a discovery. I am based here in New York. So unfortunately, whoever is in New York, New Jersey areas, the 5 boroughs, and Connecticut and Long Island, places that is close. So if you want to come from wherever and come over here, so be it. I believe that the New York base would connect you to a center out there. I'm not sure, but I feel like it's worth it. I feel like it's worth it. If you've done this already and you're stuck at a certain point, this may help you a little bit. They use different outlets. Ancestry is one of them, but they use all other different type of archives. Social Security Department, Birth Certificate Department. Actually, Ancestry used them to get information sometimes. So like I said, they have archives of our shit. I don't know how. I don't even want to get into it. So they piggyback. believe it or not, and that's what was explained to us when we went there on Wednesday. It was a really uplifting time. I was very excited and happy about it. I don't know how did you feel, Shaka? Fine. Did you discover anything outside of the Indonesia situation?
Not really, but there were a couple of documents that I found that
It's a lot of documents.
my great grandfather, filled out. I saw a naturalization document because my great grandfather with his wife
Right.
immigrated over here
Right.
in like 1925. They immigrated over here from Barbados.
This is their place. I don't talk about no
And-
immigration.
Well, they immigrated from that
Okay.
territory into this territory.
Right.
And they were from there, and they worked their butt off and, were able to realize the American dream early. So,
Right. A lot of our families are from, families of nobility. I have a document where I could clearly see that my grandfather, there's one document where my great grandmother, obviously the census has stated who she was, who her husband was, and they said larger, wife of the larger, husband of the larger, and so clearly, it was said to the person who was helping me back in the day. They would always pick up stray people from anywhere, and I guess they would pay them to stay with them for a little while and stuff like that. So I've seen a document like that. I seen another document with my grandfather. Obviously, I don't know. I want to say he was having an apartment, and then he would fill out his information, and then he put on there like who will contact him. I also seen a small amount of army documents, and so we seen a lot of things, and that we couldn't say we stayed there for so many hours, so there's still so much to uncover. But we just wanted to pass that information to you guys. It is for free. There's no charges at all. But hey, if you've done it already and you feel like you need some help, you're stuck in certain areas, certain stuff like that, it is what it is. The couple that was helping us out, especially the husband who is a beast with it, he kind of like connects the dots really well. He's been doing this for so many years for people. They're married, but they found out that they're eighth cousins or something like that.
yeah, they're eighth generation cousins.
Eighth generation cousins. Okay. And then there's some funny business going on. Cousins was but you know what I was telling Shaka, I believe that even in certain tribes within our culture, we did that. We had to keep the wealth amongst ourselves. It was done in a certain way, it was probably like distant cousins or whatever, which is probably similar to what happened with them. They even told us a story about their grandfather having a whole different name and they felt violated. That was hilarious,
Yeah.
It was like, what? Dad's not your name, but that was some mobster stuff.
And named his children after the new name. They all found out that he had a whole name, like one name didn't even sound like the other name. They were devastated.
That was devastating. Like, what? So we're not of the whatever family. So it was a very interesting time for us on Wednesday. We laughed, we had fun. I am going
We
to
had a really good time.
we're going to make arrangements to go down there again. I do have some footage that I'll be putting up on the YouTube later, not now. And when we go back again, I definitely will get some more footage so you guys can have an idea of what you'll be dealing with. This has been age information. It's time to go. More information is going to come out. So what is it that you want to show them? Well, what's going on with the chat? They laughing. You from Indonesia? What they laughing at?
Yeah.
Ah!
You talking about Lori said many people are disappearing. Whole grown women. The organ business is popping.
People are definitely disappearing.
Pasha said boys need to sit down.
Boys need to have several seats, in my opinion.
He needs to play musical chairs by himself.
Yes, so you've been updating on what's going on. I'm telling you, it's a mess. Kwame is going in.
She says he's been reaching a lot lately. Why? Yeah, very scary.
According to Kwame, his audience was dying down. He was dying down, so he needed some clout. You know how it goes.
Yeah, Lori says it's Viacom. Liz says Kwame is the truth.
I love
That man tried
Kwame.
to kill his own son. 3 life sentences won.
Who tried to kill his own son?
The dude.
Oh, the other situation. I was about to say Kwame. Don't believe that. Okay.
And then Pasha and Liz was laughing at the clip that we showed.
Oh yeah, the clip is hilarious, you guys. Like the clip.
So, one thing that I want to actually ask you guys, because we got a text from one of our one of the House of Harlem, you know, hit squad, you know, HOH hit squad. That's what y'all are.
They the hit squad.
HOH
That's the
hit
hit.
squad.
That's the hit goons.
Not
Those are
hit
goons.
They the hit squad.
All
You know
right.
what I'm saying? You know, we got intelligent people in here. They not goons. You know.
Yeah, but yeah. What is it?
So he sent us a text stating that this Nasara may be in effect somewhere in the world. Well, I guess it would be just Nasara, because that's the global. That's the global acronym for Nasara.
So what is okay? Let me read what it is, because we want to make sure that we give the people the exact definition of what it is. Nasara executive order. Okay. Look, now it's saying about Donald Trump, but I don't know how true that is. Are you looking it up or?
Now, I have what it's designed to do on here. I have what it's designed to do.
International Emergency Economic Power Act.
Reformation Act.
Okay.
National Economic Security and Reformation Act. And GISARA is the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act.
Right.
So that's what both of those are. Now, what it says here, is Nasara is the most groundbreaking reformation to sweep not only the United States of America, but the whole planet. In its entire history, the act does away with the Fed, the IRS, and the shadow government, and much more. So it is designed, or allegedly, it was stated that it is designed to do these things here. I'm going to name a few. It says zeroes out all credit card, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and government activities. This is the Fed's worst nightmare, a jubilee or a forgiveness of debt. Also, it abolishes the income tax. It abolishes the IRS. Employees of the IRS will be transferred into the Treasury National Sales Tax area. It creates a 14% flat rate, non-essential, new items only sales tax revenue for the government. In other words, food and medicine will not be taxed, nor will used items such as old homes. It says it increases benefits to senior citizens. returns constitutional law to all courts and legal matters. And this is one that y'all definitely want to take notice of. It says, reinstates the original title of nobility amendment. So that is some of the things, you know, just to name a few, that is allegedly claimed to go into effect once this Nasara goes into effect. So,
Well, people are saying that Nasara is already in effect. So based off of some of the things that you read off the list, do you see any of those things happening right now?
Personally, no. I see certain things happening with the IRS. They've been shifting and doing some things and trying to gather themselves, because I think they've been shooken. So they kind of trying to, you know, they're attempting to get one last cash grab before they have to shut their doors.
So
Other than that, I don't see a lot of this stuff going into effect. You know, not personally, but it's not
have
to
you
say
heard
that
of
it
it
happened.
from with other people? Because, you know, people are randomly getting money on their cards. A lot of people, once again, on certain things like unemployment. Do you think that anything with the CARES Act or any of these stimulus money have anything to do with the Nasara or Jasara? Does that play a role in it? The PPP loans and the EIDL loans, you know, so do you think any of that has to do with
I
is it
personally
disbursement
don't
of
think
money?
that. I think that the government is attempting to they're attempting to do something admirable or something, you know, that is not expected from them. Because with all of this money that people are getting, where was this money,
So where
you
is
know,
it coming from?
years ago? When Clinton got into office, you know, one of the first things he did was he balanced the books. And not more than a week or two after George Bush got in office, we were at damn near $1 trillion deficit again.
Facts.
So this is how
That happened.
much they're playing with
$9 billion
your
went
money.
missing.
They're playing with funds that belong to the people. And that is only my opinion.
Allegedly, this is only for
That's
education
right. This
purposes
is-
and entertainment purposes only.
We're only here to give you that good old infotainment.
Infotainment.
You know, we're here to infotain you.
So, well, stay tuned. Trump was seating yesterday, talking about the borders and the things that are happening in between the borders. I can't play that video. Well, if you email us at houseofharlem@gmail.com, we'll be able to give you all emails if you want to see them, if you can't find it.
Or if not, subscribe to our Patreon page where we're working, you know, feverishly to put up these receipts that we got
Right.
and the information that is too sensitive for the boob tube.
We don't want to break any community guidelines. But anyway, so he is still very active in what's happening politically. I mean, some people say, listen, well, he's a businessman, he's a billionaire, so they get to do what they want to do. I'm not quite sure what are your sentiments about that, but I would expect the president, the current, right, president of the USA to be at those hearings discussing what is happening at the border. Now, the VP claims she has done that, but she really didn't, and she got pulled out on it. And that's what I like. That's what I like about right. She got really chin checking. That's what I like about our people now. They're not playing. They're not playing. You just not going to lie blatantly in front of our eyes and then, tell us something else and not seen and heard what the hell is going on. So, we have a lot of journalists out there. We have a lot of media outlets out there. We're not playing no more. And I do appreciate that. And they're getting called out left and right. If they even budge wrong, it's being spoken about. So clearly she lied about it. And the beautiful thing is when you start to run up on them and ask them questions with the mics, they start to stutter or they start to not make no damn sense in their response. And that's when you can just, kind of determine that it's all a lie. It is all a lie. Point blank and period. So with that being said, what do y'all like? How is it that this President Trump, right, is able to sit at the table with these people to discuss the large amount of drugs that's coming over and all this other stuff, and our president not be there, right? So a lot of people are saying that September is going to be a very interesting month. I'm, waiting to see what happens. Because, am I correct? The Trump's the cases with his alleged voters fraud is still open. Shaka. His alleged voters fraud. Those cases are still ongoing in court, right? Isn't it in the appellate court, or are they all determined to be what it is?
Each respective state, well, certain selected states are engaged in an investigation.
Right, and some already closed. And some already got their findings.
They're closed, and they're coming up with these rulings, and that's something you want to keep your eyes and ears on. Because you don't want to miss that with another distraction. Maybe they're going to release another person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or they release R. Kelly, it's going to be an issue. And, look out for those things. Those things may happen. Every time something major like this happens where it's just going to break the internet and it's going to be the talk for at least a week, best to believe they're doing something. Best to believe they're doing something, and they want us. We're already distracted, but they want to make sure we're distracted. They want to make sure that our eyes are pinned to what's going on so they can do what they got to do on the side. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I salute him coming out. He didn't, in my opinion, did not deserve to be in there in the first damn place, but at the same time, I'm like, what else is going on in the world? What's going on? Did he have a talk with them and they said, listen, keep your mouth closed, we'll let you out, boom, boom, boom. What else is going on? What else is going on in the world? That's why I said to this. Let's see what the chat is talking about before we close out. Because there's some stuff that I am like really digging into right now. I can't wait to present it pretty soon coming up. There's some interviews that are going to be coming up, some really great interviews. So, but, engineer, what is the chat talking about before we close out? What is the chat talking about before we close out?
Okay. Eugenio says a lot of these people belong to fraternities or they are Freemasons. I want to keep the perpetual lie. AK says the judicial system is corrupt, hands down.
It is. We can't lie about that.
Where says facts. Look what happened to Brother Sage. Dan Eugenio says the plan was consumed by the Treasury.
It was?
I don't know. That's what he says.
Okay.
I don't
we got to look into.
We need receipts, bro. We need receipts, man.
Okay.
Where those receipts at? or Lori says, too bad R. Kelly doesn't have Epstein money, then he could fake his own death in jail and disappear forever. That is a fact.
Factos.
But because yeah, so it's one of those things where it's one of those things that gotta take notice to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Do not keep your eye on the prize. That's what I want to say. Keep your eye on the prize. Don't let these stories distract you. I mean, you know, you can take a glimpse at them. You have a little dialogue when, you know, time permits itself, but like really honestly stay focused. I have a feeling that we're going to have another banger, another crasher, because those people up there in the higher upper echelons, they're fighting. They're having their own war about their commodity, and their commodity is the 14th Amendment. There's a lot going on. Is this audio I would love to play? And I'm just so skeptical on playing. It was a guy from Australia, like I stated before. He went in on what's going on with this pandemic, and he is freaking tired of it all. He's just so tired of it all. Apparently in Australia, they are still on strict lockdown. He's not feeling it at all. They're not feeling it at all. There's some people just going with the flow because they just want to survive. They want to live. And he's like, forget that shit. The government just recently announced in Australia that they're thankful that there hasn't been not one case of someone getting this the Rona, but yet they're still on lockdowns and they're still promoting the slabber jabber. This guy was livid and he went in. Hello. Do you want to play that audio or you just want to keep it for Patreon? Like, what do you want to do? I would like to close out on that. Hopefully it shouldn't be an issue. Well,
No. We're going to play the audio.
the thing is, there's a possibility that with the algorithm, it'll say that, cause he does say certain things, that there was, harassment or such like that, because he did make the statement, if anybody says anything X, Y, and Z, I'm up them. But they may not even catch up on that. They may not really hear that. I don't know. It's up to you. Being that we got reprimanded the last time for harassment. I really want you guys to hear this. Like, it is hilarious. I'm telling you guys, hilarious. Like, this guy went in. He went in. Now, y'all know in the history of Australia, a lot of the Aborigines over there suffered a lot. So I have no sympathy for a certain kind over there, unless you're really about it and you know what's going on in history. But I have to close out with this, guys. I want to say thank you guys for rocking with us. We appreciate you guys. Woo! The things that we have planned is just like, and the things that are already planned, to be honest with you, it's just like, it seems so surreal. So I appreciate you guys. I can't wait to be able to announce some of the projects that we're doing. I'm so grateful, and some of the people that we're working with. And so, you know, the revolution shall not be televised. Are you going to play it for them? Okay, guys. We're closing out with this. I'm pretty sure you guys will appreciate this audio. And remember, this is for educational purposes only. And we do not condone any harassment, any sexual harassment, any fightings, or anything like that on this platform. we follow all rules and guidelines with YouTube.
Right. Alright, check this out. This here is monumental. Alright, check this out.
Excuse the language, but this is how angry the white people are, because just like in Canada, they are all out there. They can't go anywhere. Jewish rights come to us with a virus that's fake and phony and has a 99% cure rate. The health department just came out. Jewish rights got the general of the army and to his and it's called COVID Shield. Operation COVID Shield. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Fuck you people act like motherfuckers. Fuck you people are full of shit. Look, this sucks the gadget, I swear to God. I don't care if I get arrested. That cunt needs a big fucking punch in the face. I've never seen so much bullshit acting in all my COVID Shield. Then he says he has the audacity to say nobody in Australia has caught COVID and died from COVID, but you motherfuckers have locked us in and out. It's like you've got your dick and you're constantly fucking us in the ass. If nobody in Australia has caught COVID and died in Australia, what the fuck have you done to us, you sons of bitches? And you people still lay down, and you people still listen to the bullshit, and none of you want to go to war. What the fuck is wrong with you people? The motherfucker just admitted it. He just said no one in Australia has caught COVID and died from COVID. Yet you all fuckers go inside, wear a mask, tie up your bumhole, cover your dick and your cunt, do anything that's possible. Are you fucking insane? Are you fucking insane? Oh my God, he just said it. He just said it. 2 fucking years of our lives being destroyed, and the cunt has the audacity to get up there and say, we are fortunate enough that nobody in Australia has caught COVID and died from it. So the 1,163 that you reported, you fucking lying son of a slut, you motherfucker, Scott Morrison, Daniel Andrews, Anastasia Palaszczuk, Ayiri Brabnik, Wayiri Bamlik, Wayiri Malta Maltepa, with the Sharmuta, you fucking killed her. You killed our economy. We had people commit suicide. You fucking drove us insane. And this cunt just came out and said, nobody's died. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You had to take a breather.
He just came out and said, we are fortunate enough that nobody in Australia has caught COVID and died from COVID. Yet the whole world has gone back to normal, and we are still not allowed to even fucking go from state to state. We still fucking quarantine from coming back overseas, and we have to pay for our own pocket. Out of our own pocket, and Scott Morrison gets to go and quarantine in his house. You people still think this is real? Oh my God, how do you fucking sleep at night? How do you sleep at night knowing that you partake in the biggest hoax, the biggest murder of Australian people in the history of Australia? How do you sleep at night? You know what? The next motherfucker, as God is my witness, I do the sign of the cross just like we used to do before we went to war. Just like we used to do before we went to war. As God is my witness, the next motherfucker that says to me, I know somebody that died from COVID, I'm dropping the cunt. And I will be arrested, and I will go fucking to prison. But I will go held with my head held high and my honor intact. I will drop the next motherfucker that says he knows a I will drop him there and there. I will not persuade him. I will not try to convince him and change his mind. I will drop him in a heartbeat. I will refuse to talk anymore, because there's an old saying, when talking no longer works, that's when violence steps in. So I urge every single Australian, and I hope my Facebook gets shut down. I hope my Instagram gets shut down. I want every single Australian, to every single son of a bitch, son of a whore, son of a slut, that says to you, I fucking sheep. We have been treated like animals, and you fuckers went for it. You went for it. What you need somebody to take. I'll tell you what you need. As God is my witness, I'm putting it out there. As God is my witness, I am going to drop the next son of a bitch, son of a whore, son of a slut, son of a mole. I'm going to drop him. As soon as he says, I know someone. That's it. The world must rise up and Australia will lead the way. I've had enough. Finished. I dare any cunt from now on to tell me I know someone. And if I don't know where you are, I will find you. Just to fucking put it live on social media. As I beat you within an inch of your life, and then motherfucker, I'm going to tell you COVID.
Listen, that was for entertainment purposes. We do not condone any harassment of any such on this platform. Yo, did y'all hear this man? He said, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to say COVID did it. I don't know if you guys can make out his accent, but it was like, what is going on?
Was classic.
Matter of fact, that's going to be the anthem for Patreon. You know, we're going to take little snippets out. You son of a whore, you son of a slut. If anyone that knows someone that says they know someone that knows someone that knows someone, I like he's fed up. He's fed up. Sorry about that. His particular country, after every other country is up, going, you know, going up. His particular country is okay. Something happened. Talk on this. Maybe we don't hear. They don't hear nothing. Hold on. Yo, off. Oh.
But the funniest and the saddest thing about it is he's voicing how a lot of people feel, but just, I guess, can't voice it. Because there are so many sheep in this damn world that makes it hard for the fucking wolves to do wolf shit, man.
Right. I feel you.
God,
he's fed up. He said he don't care no more. He's going to go down with his hell head high. Because, see, that's the thing. They're telling us.
What aggravates him the most is they admit the shit in your face. It's like,
that's what I'm saying.
Shit out you until y'all clap you so what?
That is always the example I use.
And you didn't say y'all slapped you so what? Shut up. Go sit down. Then people seem like you crazy, like you're the crazy one or something.
Yo, that bugs me.
They say makes no goddamn sense.
Why do they say it? They say it to you, and they still think you're the crazy one. You go and you play the audio. You go and you read from their government website, and you still crazy.
Yo, they said that all these people didn't die due to underlying illnesses. They died because of the coronavirus.
Right. Well,
so
let's say Rona. Let's say Rona.
They died from the Rona.
Right.
But when you get the slabber jabber, they say that you didn't die from the slabber jabber. You died from the
Make that make sense.
Nah,
damn.
That's aggravating.
That is.
It was even more aggravating, like he said, you get these fucking weirdo sheep. Yeah, I can't even call them sheep. These motherfuckers is insects. So I know somebody who got this motherfucker.
Insects.
Is you crazy? Is you dumb?
Right.
And if you got that type of energy, right?
Right.
How many people die from fucking cigarettes and secondhand smoke and all that?
on.
You don't do shit about that.
Make it right.
That's just cool.
You don't give out
no
free money. You don't give out no free money, no free French fries, no free lotto tickets.
Nothing. All these people dying from shit that's real shit, and nobody does nothing about it.
The real flu.
Shit everybody got a goddamn voice about.
The only thing
Yo.
you get free is sorry.
Yo, let me tell you something. This is. Trust me, the people who get in the slabber jabber, believe me, it's going to be a whole nother drop of. Listen, it's going to be a whole nother chaos moment because you don't know the ones who did survive it. You don't know the long-term effect. Now, a young lady opened the CDC website and went to it, which this is no longer on there anymore. I hope we save that. We got the archives for that. And it said the zombie. She showed her sister it and said, "Oh my, look what it's saying." She said, "You crazy." But it's on the website. I'm showing it to you right now.
I was speaking to, because you know I always be talking my junk.
Right.
I'm in the pharmacy and I'm speaking to them, and I'm like, yeah, you know, the CDC and what you just said, the zombies and stuff. So
right.
This chick is looking at me like I'm crazy. So in her mind,
right.
she was going to pull this up and shut me up and tell me you stop saying this stupid shit.
Right.
When she pulled that shit up and she seen the zombie, she said, "Oh my God, he's telling the truth." What the fuck you thought I was lying?
Well, at least she admitted to it. This person pulled it up.
She had no choice but to admit to it because it's right there in her damn face.
Some people won't, Waji. Most people that are so asleep will deny it in their face. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, there are people that you pull it up.
Sheep. It makes no sense. The damn flabberjabber don't got nothing to do with the damn, for what it's intended for, what they saying it's for. Like,
nothing.
Like I said,
there's doctors that came out and said it.
Fed up people are. It's like, damn, like, what do you have to do? I mean, I understand you got faith in your government.
Right.
You want to listen to what people say, but you don't have a brain for yourself.
No logic, no. That's why I say I don't care what PhD you have, 3 master's degrees you have, what bar test you pass, how if you what your IQ may be. Common sense always will trump all of that. If you don't have common sense, I don't want to talk to you.
There's a lot of intelligent
Listen, one thing I gotta say is you have to start checking these motherfuckers' credentials. When they say they doctors, lawyers, and shit,
right.
We ain't gonna say, "Let me see your certificate." We gonna have to say, "Listen, here's a simple 15-question test. Take this fucking test,
right,
and see what the fuck your score is. Because whatever the fuck you got, I don't believe you."
On the spot.
How could you be this educated person and be this dumbest motherfucker on earth?
Right.
Take this test.
Like
fuck your certificate.
The cardiologist told me I'll take it even after the studies, because if you seen what I seen, you would definitely take the chance and take the slabber jabber. So I asked her, what did she see? I haven't gotten a response yet, and that's been months. You know, so
what she seen was her one brain cell, because everybody else got trillions and trillions. She got one brain cell, and that shit is struggling. That shit's struggling like a motherfucker trying to say, what the fuck is going on? Yo,
right.
Where the fuck the rest of the brain cells went?
Even
did I see some shit over here? Well, you know you a cardiologist and shit.
Right.
But damn, that fucking, these people is nuts, man. I can't believe just the current condition. I read something in one of these books. I don't know, was it Behold the Pale White Horse or whatever?
Probably
they
so.
say that they want to take hypnotism out of the realm of magic and bring it into the realm of science. And I'll be damned if they didn't do it. 'Cause these people are hypnotized. These people are freaking, this is worse, this is bigger than the Matrix.
This is bigger than Nino Brown.
Bigger than the fucking Matrix. The Matrix is a fucking heaven compared to this shit here. These people are
he said the Matrix is a heaven compared to this.
In the Matrix and another Matrix. These motherfuckers need 20 fucking blue pills to wake up. One ain't doing it for them.
You see how angry?
They wake up, they right back in the next level of the Matrix. Like, what the fuck these niggas need? They need a rainbow pill.
Oh my God.
Take the blue and the red, mix 3 of them shits and try. I don't know what to do for these people. These people is crazy. Like, the worst thing is like, what could you possibly do? That's why what I said in the beginning, the sheep make it hard for the wolf to do wolf shit. Because when you try to navigate and do things and try a little bit to make things better, you got your own people bringing you down. You got people who will try to kill you for not having a mask on. What the fuck has a mask done for you?
Well, the thing is, they said nothing themselves. Like, you know, it's not like I'm predicting this. This is what Fauci says. This is what the doctors are saying. So it's like, so you felt how angry he was. He was tired. He said, them people.
Tired. How do you say that nobody is called COVID, but you have war-like sanctions on people? You have war-like sanctions. Countries that are at war don't even have these type of fucking sanctions. When you can go outside and get blown up by a bomb at any fucking time, you don't have these damn sanctions.
No.
But COVID give you these sanctions?
No, it didn't make no sense. And then on top of that, they're like he said, he was so upset when the government came up and said that, but their country is still on closed. They're not opening up. That's making him mad when they're the country that don't have nothing at all.
What is the point? What is the point of this? Why we didn't shut the whole world down for the motherfucking flu? Huh? Why we didn't shut the world down for the flu?
Even the AIDS epidemic. I mean, you know, when she said, when I asked her, what did you see? You know, at least when the AIDS first started and they said people's skin was peeling off on the beds and they seen some trauma, they seen a whole bunch of things happening. But with this, nothing. You didn't see nothing. There was nobody in the hospital like they said. You seen nothing. That's why I couldn't get a response. You didn't see anything.
This is beyond me, man. As I said, I don't know. And then it only seems like it's getting worse because whatever it is they doing, man, they got it, man.
Yeah, they don't get me wrong. They doing something. That's why I keep saying, don't lose focus. Don't lose focus because there's some stuff to come. There's some more stuff to come. I heard in the hospitals now, probably September, they're gonna make it. Mandatory. I'm hearing that. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, I heard Presbyterian try to make it mandatory, but I think they had to go back. I'm not 100% sure what happened with it because it's not FDA approved yet. But that's just word semantics because they're saying, oh, you can't force it because it's not FDA approved. Well, then when the FDA approved the shit, and then what? And then you don't have that excuse no more. So if you write down, I don't want to take it because it's not FDA approved, you're just stabbing yourself in the fucking back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to get it approved, and then what's going to be an excuse?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But they haven't gone through the necessary trials. It's like I said, guys, keep your eyes and your ears open. Don't get too open to it. Yeah, we're partying out here. We're doing this because there's a lot to come. September is going to be another trying time for us. All right. I believe evictions are now opened up, so a lot of people are going to be homeless now as of today or tomorrow. I know in New Jersey for sure, in New York. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening, guys. Do not lose focus.
Wait till they start taxing you all that free money they give you.
Let me tell you something. That free money coming with a price, but I'm telling you. Now, I spoke about that. That free money coming with a price. It's coming with a price. Yeah. All right?
It's coming with a big price because everybody who got the free money, I'm sad to say, they went and bought Prada and Gucci and you can't get nothing expensive. Everything expensive is sold out. Because these people who ain't never had nothing their whole entire life
went and bought it.
Said, oh shit, we got free money, let's go get it.
He said, you said everything that's expensive is sold out? What?
You can't buy
I don't have those problems.
There's too much money circulating. Everybody got money, so the first thing they do is run to the store and buy stuff. A sneaker, a shirt, everything. They just spend the money as soon as they, oh shit, another thing? Oh, go get it. Oh, PPP loan? Oh, we gonna buy up everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
I get it. You ain't had nothing in a while. You know, you was sitting on the couch for 40 years, and now all of a sudden you got 40 businesses that you put on paper. I get it. But
why you didn't make it legit?
To do something, you know, productive. Why don't you take that and turn it around and help yourself? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that would have been the goal. So therefore, you can keep accumulating the money, but nobody want to do that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know about nobody else. This is my personal thing. Once they start saying they're gonna let people out of prison if you take the slapper jabber.
Oh, they said that too? Did they say that?
They won't let you out of prison if they find out you're innocent. So people let you out.
He said they don't.
Come on.
Wait a minute. Did they say that, or you're just predicting that?
No, they said that. They said that.
What?
They were going to reduce sentences or something of that effect. Give you less time or some type of relief.
Right.
Because you were willing to take a slab of job.
What?
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
So y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. I mean, it was already worse for me. You're not gonna. You're telling me like when they offered French fries and lotto tickets, I'm like, come on, guys. Now I know we may be asleep a little bit, but this gotta be it. I mean, you know how folks are. That's so suspect right now. They never did that for cancer, for HIV, for any other stuff. Come on now. Like, y'all can't be this crazy.
Swine flu, influenza, mad cow disease. We done been through so many things, man.
Right.
Why is this so crazy?
To get our food intact, whatever. Like, we've been eating rodent. Anybody who eats cereal been eating 100 rodent hairs. The FDA approved that. And that's another thing. The FDA approved some crazy and gruesome things, but they never approved that. But that just goes to show you how dangerous this is. This is too far, and FDA know if we approve this, everybody be dropping like flies, and we ain't going that far. We want to do two by two and 3 by 3, but everybody that'll be too crazy and too noticeable.
Listen, the FDA is on their side. This is all a game.
It is a
The
game.
FDA is a part of their organization. A lot of people are saying they don't want to take it because it's not FDA approved. What they want to do is get people to say stuff like that, and then say, okay, you're right, you don't got to take it, it's not FDA approved. And now when they go to the FDA and say, okay, it's time to approve it, what do you want to say now?
Right, but once again, they had their own rules and regulations on what is the proper way to get things approved, and they can never ever get to that point, because right now they're in experimental trial. They don't have enough time in place. All of their rules in order to make something become a slab of job, but they can't do right now in the first place.
Well, if that's the case, why didn't they follow any of their rules and stuff they had in place? And you deal with a pandemic of this nature. They didn't follow none of their rules and guidelines that these people who spent all their lives in school studying and all that stuff put together. They did what they own them.
Well, let me ask you this: why do you think they haven't approved it yet? What is one of the reasons you think they haven't approved it?
Well, I honestly can't tell you the reason why they haven't approved it. But what I can tell you is all these entities is under their umbrella.
Okay.
The FDA is going to listen to them at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And then one thing I've learned about them, they always try to keep us divided. So it's just another way of division. Some people will say, oh, it's not FDA approved. Some people say, just more confusion, just to clutter your mind up for whatever it is they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because if they want that FDA approved, they will get that FDA approved.
Right.
Who's going to stop them? They own. It's like you have a house, you have another apartment, and you own both of them, bro. You can tell them do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? They can at any given time they can get it approved, emergency approved, whatever it is that they need, they can get it done at the end of the day.
Let me tell you something.
If I can at least see the stuff that they said made sense, and I can be like, okay, cool, I can dig that, I can wrap my brain around it. But nothing they ever said makes sense. They said you can't be right now as we speak.
Right.
If you go to an airport without a mask, you will get fined $50 if you do not have a mask, right?
Right.
But if you have the mask on your face, around your chin or something like that, they won't bother you. I'm not talking about covering your mouth and your nose. I'm talking about just visibly
on your body,
where they can see it.
Right.
What sense does that make? Why do we need it if we don't have to cover our mouth?
They did that in PA. They say as long as it's on your body, it's fine. I'm like, huh?
It's fine. That's what I'm saying. It makes no sense. So now you're telling me this is not a safety measure. This is just me being trained to follow orders. See what I'm saying? They said we need a mask, we have a mask. He was obedient, he has a mask, he's good. You see what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with Stockton and Rona.
what it has to do is to see who will listen and who will not listen.
Right.
Just like, I guess the Rona really has a mind of his own.
This is
Because
about
when you go to the
compliance.
airport, they say you're supposed to separate 6 feet, right?
Right.
Can't stay next to each other. But as soon as you get on the airplane, you sit right next to the person.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what that tells me is the Rona knows, it says, listen, when they in that waiting room and they close to each other, get them. As soon as they get on that plane, you can't get them no more.
There was a person who traveled a few months ago, and they told him you have to put your mask on in between eating. But he said they won't tell him why the turbulence is so bad. The water, huh? He said, they're telling me that I have to put my mask on in between eating. So every time I take a spoon, I eat and then I put the mask on. But the turbulence was horrible. The turbulence was bad. It was shaking because as he was recording, it was shaking. It was out of control. He said, but they won't tell me why the hell and what the hell is going on with this turbulence. But they can make an announcement about me eating in between me putting my mask on. But they haven't made an announcement about the turbulence, and I'm afraid right now. Right.
That's what we want to know. When I was in Disneyland, right? I went to one park, right?
Right.
And they said, if you sit down and eat your food, you don't have to put your mask on.
Right.
So I was walking, I left a little ice cream, I'm eating it. I can't walk and eat it. I got to sit down and eat it.
What?
When I walk and eat it, I guess, the Rona thing is like he walking, he's fair game. So I guess there's rules to it. The Rona, they said, listen, Rona, you can get certain people doing certain activities. If they following our rules, you can't touch it.
Remember the senator? Remember the senator where he made a joke or somebody made a joke? Oh, Rona, once you sit down, Rona is gone, but as soon as you stand up, he's not, because remember in the restaurants, you can sit down, you can take your mask off, but as soon as you stand up, Rona's around. Waji, we've been saying this since March. We've been going hard on this. I got tons and tons and tons. We got tons and tons and tons and tons of videos showing.
Just like when we was in quarantine, right?
We've been rocking this.
You can't go to the church. The church is closed because, you got to practice distancing.
Right.
Walmart is open. You don't gotta. You can be next to somebody in line at Walmart, right?
It's not making no sense. You gotta make it make sense, and I'm fine with that. But see, all of those things, then you know that they playing around with you, and that's when you go, enough is enough, and that's why that guy was so angry. He is tired. He said he's dropping them, and he gonna say Rona did it. Since everybody making excuses for Rona
did it.
He can't believe the government and said, he can't believe the government made an announcement. We are so lucky and fortunate that not a single person got it over here. He was livid.
What are we doing here? And then, just like I said, I'm going to go back to the original check. They said that the Rona, people died from it. That they had heart disease, that they was on life support.
Right.
And their brain wasn't working. Their lungs wasn't working.
Right.
The machine is sitting there keeping them alive.
Right.
And they contact the Rona. The Rona killed it. None of that other stuff killed it. But when the slabberjabber comes and you die, it's not the slabberjabber. It's all the other stuff.
All the other comorbidities. All the comorbidities that you had, your Waji. Ooh, okay. We're going to keep that right there. So that's the question. That's the question. All right. And y'all got to make it make sense for those who believes in taking a slabberjabber. You tell me that one. I'll sit here and wait. You tell me that one. Until then, we out. We out. I appreciate you guys for jumping on. We definitely more than likely going to have an interview next week. We'll keep you guys posted. We'll do the flyer. Listen, I mean, you heard it. He's angry. I don't blame him. And he was on 25. He don't care no more. He said Australia is going to be on the map because anybody who knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, after the government said none of this happened, that means you brainwashed. And I've been saying that. I've been saying that from day one. Listen, man, y'all, go outside, get some air. Something's out there, but it's not fatal. I never said nothing was out there. Something's out there, like the flu, but it's not fatal. Take your vitamin C, take your vitamin D. They said there is a 90 now it's 99% recovery on it. Come on, it's logic. So why did you even need the slabber jabber? All we said is it's not fatal, and the people who are getting it is just listen, anybody who's in a hospice, anything that comes their way is over for them. That's the people who have mobilities, and it's been expressed so much. Jennifer explained it. We read documents after documents. Doctors are coming out in opposition telling you. When nobody, and then those doctors wind up, when you look them up the first time that they dare to come out and speak about what's really going on, now all of a sudden they're conspiracy theorists under their doctorate degree. If they didn't go missing for some reason. It's crazy. You see actual videos of them pretending to give the slabber jabber. Actual videos.
Yeah.
So we done. I'm over. All right, peace to the gods. We'll see you next Thursday. We went over our time as usual, but that's how passionate we are about these subject matters. I hope you guys got some insight on anything. Y'all can always email us, hit us up. If you want us to promote any of your businesses, let us know. And y'all already know, for the artists and entertainers, this is the platform where you can break through and, claim your fame. Peace.
Don't forget to hit that like button.
Make sure y'all hit that like button, and don't forget to share and subscribe if you haven't. All right.